So, responding to, post on videos here. Muhammad, I'm going to try to say your last name. I apologize if I butcher this. Muhammad Abulai. Um, Here's the thing. You left me a comment. I saw it. It's just that I didn't want to write a book in the response, so I figured I'd make a video for you. Muhammad, your question was in regards to us playing two-back sets more. You said, is that a good thing? Easiest thing I can do, man, is show you the film and show you why I thought it was a good thing. All right, y'all. Let's get it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on in the NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel. The sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching this. Once again, guys, my name is Stephen Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, y'all, today's topic. I'm going to go into a film breakdown, guys. I'm going to show you some of the good, some of the missed opportunity, and some of the really failed when it comes to the way we utilize two-back sets from Sunday. This is what I'll say, guys, to set this conversation on a premise, if you will. When Alshon Jeffrey left the game towards the end of the first half or the early second half of the Giants game in Week 14 last year, the Eagles basically started, I'm not going to say that we hadn't played any two-back sets because we did it in Chicago. We did it against Buffalo, definitely against New England. We saw a little bit in Seattle where we're using two-back sets. Two-back sets were a thing. I'm not saying they didn't exist with Doug Pederson. But what we saw is it was an increase in not just playing two-back sets, but it was more so an increase in the targets, right? The targets going to running backs. So from Week 14 to the end of the season, guys, the Eagles crossed over the threshold of over 20% for each of those games with running back targets. It means the Eagles, when we fell down and we didn't have really that many answers, we simplified the offense, right, guys? And then we simply put the ball in the hands of the running backs. We put it in the hands of playmakers and we allowed them to make plays. Simply put. That's what my argument is for Doug. Simplify the offense, and for the love of God, put the ball in the hands of the running backs. Give the running backs more targets. You spent so much roster space on these running backs, okay? You've been activating Jalen Hurts over Nate Sudfeld as your quarterback with the idea in mind he can still help you without necessarily taking snaps as your starting quarterback. Well, we should be seeing more running back targets. I think Doug has, yesterday, Sunday was the first time we saw that, guys. And it resulted in a victory. And by the way, week 14, 15, 16, 17, what did they all have in common? W's, guys. They had W's. Wins. So, that's the premise of the argument here today, guys. Just for some full disclosure, there was an article written by Bleeding Green Nation back in January of this past year where they talked about all this. They talked about the fact that I believe we led the league in running back targets from Week 14 through. And we saw what happened. We made a push and made it into the playoffs. And you can say, well, that was bad teams we played. Yeah, it was. We also played one of those bad teams in Week 1 when we went away from running back targets and we lost. So, all right, y'all. Let's roll the film. All right, guys. Third possession of the football game. This is a possession that will end with a touchdown, okay? So, first quarter, 2nd and 10, 7 minutes, 11 second mark, right? The Eagles are going to try to full with a little bit of a sweep motion, a little jet sweep motion, right? They're going to try to draw the defense's attention to one side, and then they're going to try to set up a zone stretch to the other side, okay? So, as we go at the hike, this is what you're going to see, guys. You got Pryor and Rashard Rodgers are kind of cracking blocks, sealing that edge, okay? Their responsibility is to seal the edge. And then you got Ertz and Lane kind of pulling out on that right side. It was like a right line slide, okay? So they're basically coming out there, getting to the edges, setting up those blockers, going downfield. Everything looks good at the initial snap here. The problem is Pryor does a really bad job here, and Pryor gets beat. You guys know personally, I like Pryor. I think when Pryor's playing well, Pryor to me is a lot better than Herbig and some of these other guys that are backups. But he's been really inconsistent. I kind of get why Doug and them may have been a little down on him to begin the season, but I think the big guy needs reps. So I think you got to keep him in there, let him work through this, because I do think Pryor can play. He gets beat here, though, guys. And the bottom line is Boston Scott actually does a really great job just to get 1 yard here. All right? So short put here, the Eagles spent a lot of time and a lot of focus giving this 49ers defense motion. They wanted them to see motion, right? They wanted to challenge them on the edges, and it works. But what you're going to see in the next play is we make a subtle change here for when something becomes effective, okay? And instead of trying to hit an outside zone stretch, now we're going to go after your interior. We're going to challenge your soul. We're going to try to blow you back off that ball with some zone blocking concepts inside the zone. All right, let's get it. All right, guys, second play I want to show you here. This is first quarter, about 12-13 left in the game. This is the second possession of the football game. It's a 2nd and 14 from the Eagles' 24, okay? The Eagles are going to run something that's really an inside trap. And let me lay out to you how I know it's inside trap. Okay, guys, to begin with, we're playing an even front. 4 defenders, meaning even. If it was 3 defenders, it'd be an odd front, okay? We're playing an even front. An even front, that tells me Kelsey's going to be uncovered. It means he's going up to the second level, guys, all right? So, because of that, we got Herbig pulling from the left guard position to take on the right defensive tackle, okay? You got Ertz cracking back down inside to take that left defensive tackle on to create the void. So you got those two guys creating that void for Sanders to get through, all right? And then you basically have Pryor pulling outside. So Pryor's leaving the right guard position and pulling outside, essentially, of Driscoll to seal off that defensive end. And then you got basically Driscoll kind of pulling around Pryor, and he's getting up to the second level to block up on the second level, guys. This is an inside trap play. Hopefully you guys can see how all this is working out as I'm talking. This is effective, man. This is 21-man personnel. The skilled players we had in there were Ward Jr., it was Hightower, it was Killins, it was Sanders, it was Ertz. You got a little pre-snap motion you saw there from Adrian Killins, guys. Like, I love the pre-snap motion, and I love the versatility in the design that we're seeing from Doug in this game. Doug came out knowing that these first, 15 to 20 calls had to be scripted really well against this defensive front. And I thought he did an absolutely great job when you break down the film. There were some errors here and there, guys. Like, we definitely missed on opportunities, all right? And that's what I want to show you next. I want to show you an opportunity that was really missed on. But, man, the design was beautiful, guys. You'll see in a minute what I'm saying, guys. The design of this play, beautifully designed. Just a missed opportunity. I thought this play in particular was incredibly, this was the creativity I want to see out of Doug. Okay, this is what I know Doug can do. It's just got to be consistent. 22-man personnel, guys, we come out in, all right? Here's your personnel. You got Ertz, you got Richard Rodgers as your 2 tight ends, you got Sanders, and you got Killins as your running back, and you got Hightower as your wide receiver, guys. This is what's going to happen. At the snap, you're going to get a line slide, okay? Well, let's just say pre-snap. Pre-snap, you're going to get Killins motioning, okay? And then at the snap, while Killins is motioning, you're going to get Ertz motioning the other way. That's going to draw the eyes of those defensive ends. It forces those defensive ends to play containment because now both of your outside edges are being challenged by the motion, okay? I love this from Doug, right? At the hike, you can see the line kind of slides right. Carson goes into what looks like to me to be play. Well, it is. It's play action to Sanders, and then he boots left. Man, this play design worked, guys. You can see that you got 3 middle defenders, kind of like one of the safeties. You got like a nickel corner. You got another like kind of linebacker dropping into a zone that are all focused on Hightower. And Richard Rodgers, absolutely slips through unnoticed. If Carson can get his feet set here, and this isn't like a bad mechanics thing. This is just the circumstances of the play. The defensive end did a good job on containment there. This was such a missed opportunity. It was a split-second difference. If Carson just gets this ball out of his hands with just this much more force, this is a huge, big play. It's easily a first down. It's a huge play over the 50-yard line. And there's a chance this is a touchdown if Rodgers breaks a tackle here. This is something I would love to see the Eagles do again. And by the way, can we try this with a guy like Goddard who will, man, you give Goddard this kind of look, bro, he's going to destroy his secondary running. Like, this was beautiful. This is one you keep in the playbook, guys, because this one I liked a lot. This was a really good play design from Doug Pederson. All right, y'all. Little inside zone here. So this is first quarter, third possession of the football game. Once again, it's a possession that results in a touchdown. It's 5:24 left on the clock. It's a 1st and 10, okay? Here's what you're going to see, guys. The Eagles are going to come out in 21 man. This is your personnel in 21 man. You got Hightower and Ward at the receivers. There's your 2 receivers, okay? Your 1 tight end is going to be Richard Rodgers, and your 2 running backs, so 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 21 man. Your 2 running backs are Killins and Sanders. Killins, once again, at this, just before the snap, you get that pre-snap motioning from Killins. That's taking the eyes of that line. It's taking the eyes of those second-level defenders, okay? The Eagles are going to eventually, like, Killins loses a crap ton of yards on one of these, but the Eagles had to do it to make them honest, right? To make them think, like, this isn't just, like, you know what I mean? Like, we can get you with this if you don't pay attention, that motioning move. But the Eagles really fell in love with that motion, and I liked it too because it definitely created opportunities. At the snap, this is what you're going to see, man. Watch the double team from Mailata and Herbig. Wow, does Mailata do a good job on this, guys. I thought Mailata had a bit of an up and down game, but I was impressed with his first start. Mailata gets in there and absolutely clears the hole for Herbig. I mean, he just rocks that defensive tackle out of the hole and gets up on number 54, the linebacker. That's the way you run block, guys. That is a beautiful run block. You got Hightower in there. You got Richard Rodgers at least rolling down at the foot of the defensive end, doing his best Goddard impression. That's a play we see Goddard do a lot on that crackback. Hey, man, they did a good job sealing this off, guys. This was a really good-looking run play. And this resulted in like a 6-yard gain, man. I mean, this was a good run play. Actually, it might have been an 8-yard gain, actually. So, I mean, this was a good one. This looked really good. Now I want to flip it over, and I'm going to give you one more play before I jump off of here today, guys. I want to show you a play where I thought, we've seen this a million times, but it was creative the way Doug did it. That's what I want to see going forward. I want to see the creativity. Right? There's only so many plays you can run. There's only so many route combinations around the league. But it's how you disguise those route combinations that really matter. All right, y'all. Let's get to the last one. All right, guys. Eagles come out. 21-man personnel. Once again, we're in that 2-back set. This is a staple of the spread offense, guys. I've told you this. This is a sail route. But it is disguised very, very well by the Eagles, okay? We really should have, this is something the play, Carson makes the right read. San Francisco defends this perfectly, but this is something you keep in the bag because this was a really tricky look for a team to figure out. So, here you go, guys. What you're going to have is Hightower's going to run that vertical stem. Hightower is basically at the top of your screen, okay? So, look to your left. Well, to me, at least, it's my left. Hightower's on that vertical stem on the left, all right? Ward Jr. is running the sail route. Ward Jr. is on the far side of the line there. He's going to run that actual sail concept across the screen, all right? That's the actual sail route in itself. And then the third part of that is going to be Ertz coming out of the backfield running that underneath route. Guys, this is the sail route. This is a vertical stem, so you got your vertical stem with the sail coming in behind it with the short underneath stuff if that gets taken away. You can see the player they're trying to manipulate. Look at your third defender in there. I don't know if that was a nickel or a linebacker. But he's the guy that he either has to defend the sail or he's got to defend basically that flat route. The flat route was defended well. Carson still made the read, took as many yards as you can get there, which wasn't much. I think he lost like 3 or 4 yards. Maybe you take a chance downfield, but the Niners were kind of playing in that cover 2 almost kind of aspect there. So it's a little hard to get that deep shot, but I still probably would have thrown it towards the out of bounds marker and just seen if Hightower couldn't make an incredible play on that ball. But hey, man, I mean, this was a brilliant play design. I love this play design. This was very sneaky coming out of 21, man. This is the stuff we need to see Doug do more of. Like, this is really, really, like, the next level play design here. This is what makes an NFL coach, right? We all know these. Like, all these guys that we've coached before, it doesn't matter if you only coached high school guys. Like, we know these route combinations. Like, we know these plays. Like, there's only so many of these things, guys. It's really about how you can disguise the play, how you can fool people. That's what makes someone like the next level, like college, and the next level, like professional coach, guys. That's really what it is. Like, when it comes to play calling and play design, that's the difference, guys. Like, all of us know the plays. Like, it's not hard. There's only so many combinations you can make. But, all right, guys, let's jump into final thoughts here. My final thoughts are this. Look, just because you go into a two-back set doesn't mean you go heavy run, per se. But the success rate of making the running backs the focal point of your offense for the Eagles has been astonishing. And look, I'm not saying that you continue running these high amounts of two-back sets when you get more weapons back. You get, Alshon and Djax, and you got, a healthy wide receiver room. You start getting Goddard back. Like, I'm not saying that, guys. But I'm saying you don't completely go away from it. You keep this in your back pocket. like, this is effective. It works. Like, we go away from it too much. And this is how you keep defenses honest when you're dealing with these kind of, these play designs, because you can definitely get guys on this, man. We can get guys when we get more personnel back, because it's going to be harder to defend better skill position players. Like I said, imagine Goddard in that play before I showed you guys, where Richard Rodgers, Carson just couldn't get the ball under him. Imagine that's Goddard with that kind of spacing, guys. Like, he's gonna crush a defensive backfield with that. That's what we're looking for, guys. That's what I'm looking for, at least. That's what I want to see from this Philadelphia Eagles offense. That's why I think the two-back set is so important, right? It's about the targets it gives the running backs. It's about making the running backs the center, the focal point of that offense, right? Why are you going to keep 4 or 5 running backs on your roster, guys? Come on. If you're going to keep 4 to 5 running backs and have a quarterback who basically serves as a running back too and serves as an option piece, you better start playing some two-back sets, and you better start being more creative like you were against San Francisco. San Francisco was not ready for this. They just weren't. They were not ready for what we did to them. This is my point about it, guys. You've got to keep this going. This is creativity. All right, y'all. These are my thoughts. I want to know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think, guys. All right, y'all. You know how we end these videos. We do a little E-A-G-L-E-S. All right, y'all. Let's go, Eagles.